know, your ass better call somebody.
What's up, guys? This is a video response to Boston Fan 79. He made a video, is the WWE getting too soft. He basically talked about from the old days up to the present, how the wrestling has changed from old to the new days. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna try to compare TV-14 days to PG days. Yes, wrestling back in the day, 10, 11, 12 years ago, obviously that was some of the best years in wrestling, period. I mean, hands down. We all know that. Of course, back in those days, all of that was new. It was the first time we ever saw the Attitude Era. So all the risque moments and all the harebrained schemes that went down was fresh. It was new. There was no way to compare it to anything else because it has never been seen before. We got used to that Attitude Era, and of course it left in 2001, I think, around that time. Now, of course, PG era is kind of new to wrestling right now. I think it's only been out for about a year or two, if that. And we are now forced to watch a very watered down version of DX. They have little people now. Yes, I'm talking about Hornswoggle. That caters to the children. There's no more cursing. No more blood. Now, is this bad for wrestling? Yes and no. You don't really have to have cursing or the blood to make a show good. Okay? That is if the matches you are giving the fans are good. But if you've got a mediocre match where the only thing that can make it better is a little blood or a little foul language, then yeah, it sucks. We miss all that kind of stuff. But the problem is not whether or not we have cussing and blood. The problem is that we don't have a good enough product, period. It's been really poor this past year. Well, I don't want to say the whole year was poor. I really enjoyed the first part of 2009. I thought it was great. Boston Fan 79, he was talking about back in the 80s when they would just basically, they would just cut promos and they would have a match. And that was it. You'd cut a promo, you'd have a match, you'd cut a promo after the match. Then, of course, it got to the late 80s, early 90s, and we started seeing the shows like the Funeral Parlor, Piper's Pit, the Brother Love Show, and all that. He went over in great detail and all that. That's when it started getting more, I guess, interactive, you could say, or more entertaining is a good word to use. More entertaining is what it got. And then, of course, the Attitude came around. Attitude Era came around in 97, 96, 97. And that's when it really got mind-blowing. I missed the Attitude Era, but, we can't just dwell on it. Is it getting soft? In a way, yes. But you have people in the McMahon family that are trying to do other things than just wrestling. Linda McMahon is trying to run for Senate in Connecticut. She cannot have her name associated with something that is TV-14. She can't have her name associated with something that has foul language on it every week and blood and all that. She just can't, because it's going to ruin her image. Not like having Mr. McMahon blowing himself up in a limo, killing off his character was bad enough. Or, which that was a few years back now, but we're not like, having all these wrestlers dying at such an early age as a result to steroid use and abuse that was probably a big part of the McMahon family. Not saying that they forced them to prick themselves in the arm or in the ass to give them the steroids, but when you've got a promoter who only wants to see big, strong bodies, and when you have a promoter that wants you to work 300 days a year, you got to do something to keep that body going by any means necessary. No, you don't need blood, you don't need cussing. What you do need is just good quality matches. Put wrestlers together that work well with one another. Don't just throw two jabronis together and expect them to produce a high quality match, because it's just not going to work. I've said this numerous times, guys. Yes, WWE is getting a little soft, but that's not anybody's fault but the promoters. Trust me, it's not. Every once in a while we are blessed with a great match. Like last night, John Cena and Jack Swagger was a good match. Getting to see Rey Mysterio and Jericho fight. Good match, But there's so few and far between that by the time we go from one good match to the next good match, we totally forgot about the last good match. And all we can remember is the shitty match, the shitty match, the shitty match, and the shitty match. That's all we remember. So, is wrestling getting soft? I'm going to keep asking that. Oh, yeah. A little bit. But, all we can do is hope that Linda McMahon doesn't get in the Senate. And I hate to wish that on her, but, I'm thinking that if she wasn't in the Senate, that it could go back to being PG, or TV-14, I should say. No, they don't have to go back to the language that they use, because they were a little abrasive with the language, I will admit that. But, having a little blood in the match, hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you see worse stuff than that on primetime television, on NBC, ABC, and Fox. Having a little blood on somebody's forehead is nothing. So, and plus it adds more realism to the match. Trust me, guys, it does. It's not really needed, but when you got a match that sucks, sometimes you just got to pull out a chair, juice yourself, and make the match have a little pop, a little flair. But that's all I wanted to rap about. Good video, Boston Fan 79. I was thinking about doing that video, for a while now, but you gave me more incentive to do so. If you haven't checked out Boston Fan 79, please do. I'm going to link in the description. I'm going to post a link in the description box. And also, a big shout out to the FMMA New Era. It is his birthday tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd of December. He makes videos. He does a lot of, he likes mixed martial arts, obviously, wrestling, football. He updates you on everything. So big happy birthday to FMMA New Era. And I'm going to put a link of his channel in the description box along with Boston Fan 79. And guys, all we can do is hope that 2010 is going to bring it in wrestling. I'm really thinking it will. At least I'm going to think positive about it. All we can do is wait for January 4th, guys. Peace out.
Hello, ladies.